Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers around the world. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Well, welcome to all of you joining us. Coming up really soon is our Gold Lactation Online Conference 2025. So we have the opportunity to sit down with all of our amazing speakers, including sitting in front of us today is Maria O'Sullivan. Welcome, Maria. We're so happy to have you here at Gold Lactation this year.
Hi, Fiona. I'm so delighted to be here too.
Well, it's an exciting time here at Gold, and I know that with this upcoming conference, you have a fantastic topic, of course, that you're going to be speaking to, which is just, I think, one of those ones that's been on maybe the back burner for many of us for a while. But
hmm
why don't you tell our friends that are listening in today what it's all about?
So I'm going to be talking about the impact of perimenopause on lactation. And yeah, I guess it's a little bit left of field. I haven't seen anything about it myself, and it's just something I became personally interested in over the last couple of years. And I guess it's to do with also the rate of or the age of women when they're having their first child now, and that kind of crossover between pregnancy into perimenopause into lactation.
Right. And so it's very interesting because, yes, the crossover is happening. We've kind of seen this been happening for a while, especially with things like, women staying in the workforce longer,
hmm
delayed, pregnancies, and then fertility
hmm
issues, things like that. So it's not uncommon that many of
hmm
us will see women that are slightly older, not in,
hmm
in their early 20s like it used to be,
hmm
and now it's sort of a little bit later, moving into their 30s, sometimes even into their 40s. So, with that being said, you became interested in this topic because why? Why did it stand out to you, Maria?
Well, I have my own personal experience of it with my daughter. She was 2.5 when not when she weaned, but my period came back, and I noticed lots of different impacts on myself, and then I kind of started kind of deep diving into it, and it kind of became more of a topic around me as well. But I don't think many people were connecting the impact it may have on lactation.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why I became more interested in it then and trying to kind of like unpick what exactly is going on. Is this a breastfeeding problem? Is this a hormonal problem? Is this
Right.
also, veering into lactation and perimenopause area as well?
Yeah, it's very interesting to me because I think there's been so many women out there who have actually gone through this experience and haven't known.
hmm
So it's
Yeah.
been, in my mind, it's probably been misdiagnosed in many respects, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my eldest daughter is 22, and I have never come across anyone talking about the impact of perimenopause and breastfeeding, or the potential impacts, like the discomfort, the changes in your breasts that you may be putting down to just kind of, general breastfeeding problems, when they may be actually more linked to what's actually happening in your body. And a lot of us, especially people who would extended breastfeeding, which would be beyond 2 years, then that's, really keeping your body in a very kind of low estrogenic phase as well, where, that estrogen is never coming to come back up. So that for me was something as well that I wanted to kind of explore, and help people to kind of unpick and see if it's actually a breastfeeding problem, or is it just that, you've been in such a low estrogen state for such a long time that you're now having these issues going, not with a first baby, but kind of going into your second and third baby as well, because then your body is constantly in that low, and then suddenly you're in perimenopause. But a lot of people don't know it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So you're not indicating that, I mean, I guess like my question to you is how concerned should we be? Or, if I want to educate one of my parents, maybe prenatally, they come to meet with me, is this something that I'm going to be sharing with them? What sort of conversations are you starting to see and have in your practice?
So probably about 2 years ago, I decided to have a perimenopause and lactation consultation on as part of my practice. I haven't had like a lot of people coming through it, but I've had some people coming through it. So. And yeah, during some antenatals as well, when I would look at somebody's, their intake and see their history, and if there's like a history there that would pop out to me that may be that may impact on lactation for this person going forward, then I would bring it to their attention. I'd say, well, your age, if this person was say over 40, have you looked at have there been any issues with any perimenopausal symptoms? I mean, there's so many
Right.
um, that then that could continue on after pregnancy, and just being aware of it that it could be an issue, and what you're experiencing may not be directly related to what's happening with breastfeeding. Um, people that would have like polycystic ovaries, so I mean they're already in a place where hormones are a struggle, or our neurodivergent people as well may struggle very much, and there is some research there to show that they go into perimenopause earlier as
Wow.
well, and
Yeah.
may feel the impacts more.
Hmm.
That's another that's another talk for another day. But
Oh, yeah, that's really interesting though. Good information.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I would bring it to people's attention, and I think it's important to talk about. Because some of that, like breast pain, is that we would see a lot of in
Hmm.
lactation, and it is kind of unexplained and what's going on there. That can actually be linked to perimenopause and what the changes in the body as well, which I will go
Mm.
into in the
Yeah.
presentation.
And do we have a criteria yet, in terms of parents and mothers breastfeeding at this particular time in their life? Have we started to look at sort of criterias? Is there any type of protocols? Like, what are we looking at right now? Or is this just in the early stages of gathering evidence?
Oh, I think it's very much in the early stages. I mean,
Hmm.
I have never seen any talks on perimenopause and lactation. So I think it's very much in the early stages, and you have to really kind of like dig into the research to see what's there, and in a way kind of what fits with
Right.
this topic. And I did discover some really interesting things while I was digging into that research, going down that.
Excellent.
Yeah, yeah. So I'd be very excited to share them with people. I think it'll just make people think a little bit more. What came first? Kind of like the chicken or the egg. Was it the perimenopause, or is it the breastfeeding, or
Sure.
what exactly is happening there?
Yeah. I can see that in some situations that weaning may happen sooner rather than later for families. And I know one of our goals as IBCLCs is to protect breastfeeding.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when families have information, when the mothers know what's happening with their bodies,
Mm-hmm.
it can actually help them make an informed decision. So I can imagine this is really some of your plight as well in terms of what you've been doing is just to make sure that there's more information really on this
Yeah,
topic and that we can educate,
absolutely.
correct?
Yeah, yeah, and that would be one of my goals as well, is that to let mothers know that they don't have to wean if they
Right.
for their physical and their mental health, that it would be good for them to start um, hormone therapy, that you can start it in a very gentle way where it won't impact on your milk supply, where you're kind of getting it back like maybe to a baseline where your body is comfortable again and you can breastfeed comfortably.
Yeah.
So that would be very much part of my goal as well. And hopefully for medical professionals to kind of think twice as well before telling a mother to wean, or
Right.
yeah, yeah, and like I mean, there is so much more research coming out as well. That all that research that happened back in 2001 has been debunked, and that starting on a very low dose of hormone therapy can be really helpful for somebody's mental and physical health, and to continue that wonderful relationship with their child, their baby.
Yeah. Well, that is amazing. I'm so grateful that you're actually here at Gold this year because I think this is something we're starting to see a lot more information out there on the news. It was only a matter of time that we
Hmm.
needed to have this not only this presentation, but we want people to really pick up the information that you're sharing, the evidence, and really run with it. I want
Hmm.
them to
Hmm.
go forth into their communities and start doing
Yeah,
some more research, so that we're protecting our families. That's what it's all
yeah,
about. So
exactly.
very, very exciting. Thank you so
Me
much,
too.
and appreciate the
Thank
fact
you.
that this was one of your personal experiences, and it's come to fruition here at Gold
Hmm.
Lactation. So thank
Yeah,
you so much for
thank
joining me
you.
here today at Gold. Again, Maria O'Sullivan is with us here today talking about lactation and perimenopause, exploring the complexities and implications as well. Join us at Gold Lactation. It's coming up very soon, folks. So you got to head over to the website, goldlactation.com. You can register for this event, check out all the details, check in when Maria is going to be, of course, speaking with us. You'll be able to come and join us live, listen to our live Q&A as well. And if you can't make it to the live, don't forget it'll be recorded. You'll be able to come back, and we have our forums for you to engage with Maria there. Looking forward to seeing you there, Maria, and to all of our
Great,
friends
Fiona.
listening in today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye for now,
Thank you.
everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.